My mother wants your home address, but her intentions are not what you think. I know how this sounds to you: cold, suspicious, maybe even cruel. I know the first thought that must have rushed through your mind, that she wants to find a way to control you, to judge you, to remind you that you don't belong in this world of polished crowns and unforgiving rules. And perhaps, in a way, you're not wrong. My mother has a heart that has been hardened by decades of power, by years of watching alliances built and broken, by seeing loyalty betrayed when she needed it the most. She no longer believes in softness. She no longer trusts easily. So yes, when she asks for your address, she does not do it with a heart of warmth, but with a mind sharpened by suspicion. She wants to know where you come from, who stands beside you, what kind of walls surround you when no one else is watching. But I need you to hear me when I say this. Her intentions are not the poison you imagine them to be. My mother is not asking because she wishes to humiliate you, or drag your name through whispers in gilded halls. She is asking because in her own way flawed, harsh, and deeply complicated she wants to measure the depth of the woman who has captured her son's heart. She wants to know if you can survive this life, this cage of silken chains that has strangled even the strongest of women before you. She wants to see if you will endure, or if you will break the way others have broken, leaving me in pieces. The words burn in my throat as I speak them aloud, my voice caught between a whisper and a confession. How do I explain to her that this is not a request born out of curiosity or formality, but out of the twisted chess game my mother has played all her life? I can see the confusion flicker in her eyes, the instinctive innocence that makes her believe perhaps it is nothing more than a noble woman's courtesy. But no, my mother does nothing without purpose. She moves like a strategist on a battlefield, every request, every smile, every silence, calculated to wound or to win. And when she asks for your home address, it is not to pay respect to your family, it is to strip you bare, to dig into the soil of your past, to expose every weakness she thinks you might carry. I want to shield you from this, to take the weight of my bloodline's cruelty away from your shoulders. But how can I when it is already too late? My mother has seen what you mean to me. She has seen the way my gaze softens when you enter a room, the way my pulse quickens at the sound of your laughter, the way I stop being a prince and become simply a man in your presence. And to her, love is not beauty, it is vulnerability. To love someone is to give the world a weapon sharp enough to destroy you. And so she seeks your home address not because she wants to know where you came from, but because she wants to use it against me. She wants to know where your roots lie so she can pull them apart, one by one, until you are left fragile and defenseless. But she does not know Yana truly. She does not know the quiet strength that holds you upright, the storms you have already endured long before I stepped into your world. She does not know that you are not some fragile flower she can trample under her heel, but fire disguised in softness, iron veiled in gentleness. Yet still, I cannot bear the thought of her shadows reaching your doorstep, of her venom staining the walls of your home, of her eyes dissecting every detail of your life, as if she has the right to decide whether you are worthy of me. That is not her choice. It has never been her choice. It will never be her choice. And so, I stand here torn between blood and love, between the woman who gave me life, and the woman who gives my life meaning. It is a cruel paradox, one that claws at my chest with every breath. I want to protect you, to keep you safe from the storm she is brewing, but I know my silence will not hold her back. If she does not hear the address from me, she will find it herself. And when she does, she will not come as a mother, but as an executioner, cloaked in the guise of civility. I see her already, sitting in your family's home with her cold smile, dissecting every word spoken, every glance exchanged, not to understand but to judge, to measure you against the impossible standards she forged in fire and cruelty. That is why I must warn you now. Because if my mother comes to you, she will not come with kindness. She will not come with acceptance. She will come with questions, sharpened like daggers, with eyes that pierce through flesh to bone, with intentions that bleed poison into every room she enters. But I will stand between you and her, as I always have, as I always will. You are not a test. You are not a pawn. You are my choice, my heart, my vow. And if my mother seeks to test you, she will find me waiting, unyielding, defiant, ready to burn the very game she plays to ashes. Because you are not her enemy. You are my everything. And I will not let even my own blood take you from me. You think perhaps she wishes to know your home because it is tradition, because the prince's mother must know where the woman in her son's heart was raised. You think maybe it is curiosity, or a gesture of respect, as though she wants to see where your story began. But no. My mother does not ask questions out of courtesy. She asks them as one would sharpen a blade. Her request is not a hand reaching toward peace, it is a fist closing in. She wants to know your home, not to honor it, but to dissect it. She wants to strip your walls bare, to walk through the halls where you laughed as a child, to see the pictures hung on cracked paint, the soil in which your roots still cling. She wants to search for cracks, for flaws, for the tiniest details she can turn into a weapon. To her, love is never beauty. Love is danger. Love is the moment she sees her son, her carefully built hair, her shielded treasure, finally vulnerable. And in her eyes, you are not my salvation. You are my weakness. And that terrifies her. Because for the first time, I do not look at her with loyalty carved into my bones. I look at you. I choose you. And in choosing you, I defy her empire of control. I know her better than anyone. She will arrive at your doorstep not as a guest, but as a storm dressed in velvet. She will smile, and that smile will slice sharp. But she underestimates you. She underestimates the fire I see in your soul every time you look at me. She thinks she will find fragility, but I know she will meet strength wrapped in grace, the kind of strength that does not roar but stands unshaken. And still, I cannot bear the thought of her shadow crossing your threshold. I cannot bear the thought of her venom staining the walls of the place you once called safe. So hear me now, love, I will not let her. If she comes for you, she will find me waiting. If she thinks to use your past against you, she will face the fury of my present. And if she believes she can dictate the future we are building, then she has forgotten who I have become. I am no longer simply her son. I am a man who has found something worth losing everything for. And I would rather burn the crown, rather set fire to the throne itself, than let her decide if you are worthy of me. Because the truth is, it is not you who must prove your worth to her. It is me who must prove mine to you. And I will. Even if it means standing against the very woman who raised me. Even if it means becoming the enemy of my own blood. For you are not just love, you are the vow that keeps me breathing. When I first said these words so loud, they carried the weight of centuries in my chest. You looked at me, searching for clarity, for some spark of reassurance in my eyes, but all you found was unrest. Because there are truths I cannot coat with honey, not when it comes to her. My mother is not like most mothers who long to see the home of the woman their son loves. No, her curiosity is never born of warmth, never born of the tender longing to understand who you are or where you come from. Her intentions are sharper, colder, wrapped in silken deceit. She wishes to step into the rooms that shaped you, not so she can honor your story, but so she can tear it apart thread by thread, searching for every imperfection she might wield against you like a dagger. She sees love not as beauty, but as vulnerability. And the one thing she has built her entire empire upon is the belief that I must never be vulnerable. To her, I was meant to be the unshaken hair, the untouchable son carved from marble, incapable of bleeding, incapable of bending. Yet then came you. And in your presence, I bend without breaking, I bleed without shame, and I love without apology. To her, this is rebellion, betrayal, even not because you are unworthy, but because you hold the one power she cannot control, my heart. She fears you, not for who you are, but for what you mean to me. She knows that the fortress she built around me now has a door, and that door has your name etched upon it. I know exactly how she will come to you. She will not storm your home with rage. Nummy mother is far too clever for open war. She will arrive cloaked in grace, with smiles polished until they gleam like blades. She will knock on your door with the poise of a queen, speaking words dipped in courtesy, but heavy with judgment. She will ask you where you grew up, who raised you, what dreams you carried as a child. And each answer you give will not soothe her curiosity, it will feed her hunger to find cracks, to gather weapons disguised as questions. She will walk through your home, her gaze sweeping over every photograph, every book, every detail, not to admire, but to dissect. She will not see memories, she will see weaknesses. She will not see history, she will see leverage. And yet, what she does not know, what she cannot comprehend, is that you are not fragile porcelain waiting to be shattered. You are iron wrapped in grace, fire hidden beneath gentleness. She may come expecting to find fragility, but what she will find instead is a strength she has never known, a strength that does not roar to prove itself, but simply exists, unshaken, undeniable. Still, my love, even knowing this, my heart twists at the thought of her shadow staining the sanctity of your home. The walls that once held your ladder should not echo with her venom. The soil where your roots once took hold should not be poisoned by her disdain. So I swear to you now, with every part of me, I will not allow her to lay claim to your story. If she comes to your doorstep, she will find me there first. If she seeks to strip your past bare, she will face my present fury. If she dares to use your history as chains to bind you, she will find I have already shattered them with my hands. Because I am no longer the boy she molded. I am no longer simply her son. I am a man who has chosen his heart over his crown, who has chosen you over the empire she built.